should care for me. It's awful nice. It's paradise. It's what I love to see. You make my life so glamorous. You can't blame me for feeling amorous. It's wonderful, marvelous that you should care for me.
Diana Krall will return with more exclusive performances live at the rehearsal hall.
It's wonderful, marvelous that you should care for me.
Welcome back to the rehearsal hall, everybody. Our guest tonight is Diana Krall. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, too, after about 10 years.
More like 13 or 14, but you know what? Do this for me. Forget the last 18 years, if you can, because I have a question for you.
I have already.
Okay. You went down to Los Angeles in the late 1980s to study with a pianist named Jimmy Rolls, and you were going to study piano with him. And when you went down there, again, forgetting the past 18 years, how did you see that playing out? How did you see your future when you went to study with Jimmy Rolls?
Well, initially I met Jeff Hamilton, who plays drums with me when I'm lucky enough to get him. And he introduced me to Ray Brown, great jazz bassist who was married to Ella Fitzgerald. And they encouraged me to come to L.A., where I met John Clayton, who's playing with me today, who's also done all my arrangements for me on the last album From This Moment On. And I was their student. And I really wanted to study with Jimmy Rolls, but was sort of discouraged to be too quick to knock on his door. And John Clayton gave me his telephone number, and I phoned him, and he said, come on over. And I would hang out with him for 4 years, almost every day that I could.
And did you see a path from there? Did you see, well, you know, I'll be great, I can get club gigs, or I don't know how you saw that going forward from those years studying with Jimmy Rolls, and of course we all know how successful you've become, and rightly so. And I'm just wondering if you saw today from that point back there.
No, not at all. I mean, I'd hoped that I would be fortunate enough to be a jazz pianist. That's what I was doing. I wasn't singing. And Jimmy, I admired him because of his great artistry and his sense of humor, but because of the way he sang. And it took me a while to stop trying to sound like somebody I was not, and Jimmy encouraged me to just be myself. And his voice was very kind of, he used to describe it as a canoe being dragged across a road.
So now he encouraged you to sing as well, right? You went down to study piano, and Jimmy Rolls said, why don't you try singing, or whatever it was he said. And I'm wondering...
No, he was more like, if you want to sing, sing. I don't give a shit.
So what happened when you tried?
That's basically what... He was like that personality. I mean, he was very much a great character, and I couldn't find that in university, so I desperately filled out every form for Canada Arts Council grant, specifically to study with Jimmy Rolls. And if you've ever filled out any kind of forms, and God bless the Canadian Arts Council for giving me the money to study with Jimmy Rolls, but I had to give him this form, and it was about this much paper, and you have to type exactly in the space, all in so many words or less, about a letter of recommendation why I am worthy of being Jimmy Rolls' student. So he took out his purple magic marker or whatever is, because he was a cartoonist as well, and he took out just a sort of a felt pen and wrote, I think Diana Krall is a great talent and she should be giving any help as necessary, or my name isn't Jimmy Rolls. and then he
some bureaucrat in Ottawa is reading that going,
and then he drew a doodle of himself with a keyboard, and they gave me the money.
Perfect.
So I wasn't able to study. Paid the Arts Council back. It was pretty amazing for me to study with someone like that who didn't teach in a university, and tough on my parents. Because the last thing they want to hear is I'm quitting university to go study, privately.
In Los Angeles.
Who's played with Billie Holiday. But it was the best thing that could have happened to me. And then I had my mentors, Jeff Hamilton and John Clayton nearby, and Ray Brown, and that was my focus, to get as much as I could and learn as much as I could from those people.
Yeah. So I'm going to feel a bit like Dick Clark here, because while we're talking about the past, we're going to go back in the past to a performance that Diana did here in the rehearsal hall back in 1998. Watch this.